is Zion Williamson a bust? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is League Talk, and my name is Emmanuel Cameo. On here, I make basketball videos pertaining to the NBA. I give my thoughts, opinions, and hot takes, and break things down analytically. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then this is the channel for you. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's have a discussion. And aside from that, let me jump into this video. So Zion is back in the news again, and it is not for good reason. This time around. Number one, word has come out from CJ McCollum himself that ever since he got traded to the Pelicans about a week ago, or however long it's been, no one from the organization has actually reached out to him and like kind of talked to him and kind of welcome him to the organization. And this is obviously concerning because CJ McCollum is going to be a big part of the New Orleans Pelicans going forward. And someone like Zion Williamson, who is the face of the franchise, has to reach out and welcome and kind of usher in CJ McCollum to the team, just to let him know that, hey, you're welcome here, and I'm more than excited to work with you in the future, and hopefully we could get something done here in New Orleans, especially for someone like Zion, who doesn't have a lot of help in New Orleans. Someone like CJ McCollum, we know CJ's talent and we know what he brings to the table. Zion can benefit a lot from that, so that is very concerning. And that is not, a good look at all for Zion Williamson being the face of the franchise. It's even being reported that Zion is being distant from the New Orleans Pelicans organization and he's not in contact with them. And it's being reported that he has been in Portland for an unspecified amount of time now, and that's why he just isn't engaging with the team, which is alarming to the front office because they're afraid that Zion might not re-sign with them in the future. Rightfully so, they should be concerned, because when Anthony Davis left, Zion was supposed to be the saving grace of the New Orleans Pelicans franchise. They were going to go under. They needed Zion for the amount of star power that Zion had. So if he is hinting at maybe leaving the New Orleans Pelicans, that is a major issue. That's another reason why he is in the headlines. Another reason too that he's in the headlines is that apparently Zion is injured, and he is actually in Portland nurturing a injury that he apparently got. Like, we don't even know how, because he's not even playing basketball. He hasn't played basketball since, God, I don't even know. He hasn't played basketball all year. This season, he has not played. So I don't know how he is injured, but it's being reported that he has a right foot fracture and that he may need surgery for it, which is obviously going to sideline him for the remainder of the season. And that's going to be another season that goes by in which Zion has not played, a full season. This is the reason why I wanted to make this video, to ask the question, with Zion missing all these games, not just missing all these games, literally missing seasons. Players that have been absent and missing from action for like 2 years have been Zion Williamson and Kawhi Leonard, right? But it's even worse for Zion Williamson because he's not Kawhi. He doesn't have the accolades. He hasn't accomplished anything in the NBA yet, and he's missing just full seasons. So I wanted to ask the question, with him missing all these games and all these seasons, is he a bust? Because Zion, it's been 3 years since Zion was drafted in 2019, and in those 3 years, he has nothing to show for. He has nothing under his belt, as opposed to other players that came in the same draft that he did. And in my opinion, I'm just going to come out and say it. Yes, Zion is a bust. Zion is a modern day Greg Oden. And Ja Morant might as well be Kevin Durant, because Zion just doesn't play. In the nearly 3 years that he was drafted in 2019, Zion has only played a combined 85 games. That is 3 games over the 82 games that constitutes a regular season. So 3 years would mean out of those 3 years, he's played just about 1 full game. And in those 2 seasons, God knows what he's been doing. He's been sidelined for a number of reasons. A lot of injuries, his weight issue, all that, right? Meanwhile, while he's been sidelined, the New Orleans Pelicans organization, the franchise, paid him nearly $44 million for the 4 years that he signed all the way back in 2019 as a rookie. So he's been paid millions and millions of dollars to do absolutely nothing. That is the definition of a bust. He was supposed to be a franchise-saving player. He was supposed to be LeBron when LeBron was 18. The Cavaliers literally needed LeBron to save the franchise, and he did. Zion was supposed to be that. I know it's a huge pressure to put on the back of an 18-year-old kid or 19-year-old kid, but that's what Zion was supposed to be. Zion is not 19 anymore. Zion's like, what, 21? He's in his 20s, right? He's grown up, and it's just not good because Pelicans are getting nothing in their investment. Zion has been in the news lately, and it's not even lately. It's gone back to ever since the bubble, the 2020 bubble. Zion has, through his family and through people close to him, has put out word has come out from his camp that he thinks he's too big of a star to be in New Orleans. He's too big for New Orleans. That's why I find it rich for him to say that, yet the organization has paid him millions and millions of dollars to barely play a full season in the NBA. He's barely brought in any revenue for the amount of money that they've paid him. So I don't really think that, it's fair to just kind of crap on the Pelicans organization like that. Look, in my opinion, from what I've seen from Zion over the years, Zion has always struck me ever since, not even 2019, before 2019. Let's go back to his days all the way in high school when he was a high school internet sensation before the Duke days. He's always struck me as someone who was charismatic, someone who was likable, someone who was always smiling, someone who was always saying the right things, someone who was always thanking his teammates, someone who was just grateful to be playing basketball. And it was the same when he was at Duke. Remember, he wanted to go back to Duke, but they told him, no, go into the draft, right? He wanted to go back to Duke after the tournament in 2019, but they told him, no, go for the draft. Draft night, he's thanking his mother. He's happy that the New Orleans Pelicans have drafted him. So I don't know why all of a sudden he's turned into this player that thinks he's too good for a franchise. I know that in the past it was reported a lot of it has to do with his parents, right? A lot of it has to do with his parents. And that is one of the things that we see a lot, where athletes' parents get to talking and they get to cause their son or their kid more issues than not, right? We saw that with LeVar Ball when it came to Lonzo Ball, and we're seeing it now. It was reported a long time ago that a lot of Zion's choices, his parents were in his ear. I like what LeVar has done with LaMelo. LeVar learned from his mistakes with Lonzo, and he is hands off with LaMelo. LaMelo lives in Charlotte all alone by himself. He goes to All-Star games. He's a grown man. Zion, if it is your parents who are putting all these things in your head, you need to tell them, I'm a grown man now. I need to do what's best for me. I need to kind of find my way. But yes, the reason Zion's a bust is because Zion had so much upside to him, right? He had so much upside to him. But in recent time, these are the things I don't like about Zion, the aspects I've started to not like about Zion. I don't like that he's only played 85 games in a span of like 3 years. I don't like how injury prone he's become. This goes back to college. Just been riddled with injuries. I don't like that. I don't like that in a franchise player. Availability matters. I don't like the reports that are coming out saying that Zion thinks he's too big for the Pelicans organization. It's a bad look. It is not a good look for Zion, right? Because frankly, in my opinion, Zion hasn't done anything to deserve the right to think he's better than the New Orleans Pelicans or want to not resign with them or try to force a trade out of New Orleans. You haven't done anything, right? At least Anthony Davis, when he forced his way out of New Orleans, at least he had 2 playoff wins to his name. At least he played there for 6 years. You've barely played a full season there, barely. In all of your accumulated games, that's barely a full season. And the number one thing I don't like about Zion is I don't like the problem that he has with his weight. Zion's weight has played a big role as to why he's missed so many games. Zion is a very big guy, right? And he has a weight issue that is fixable. He can curtail it. He can fix it, but he hasn't, and it's led to a lot of the issues that he's experiencing now. A lot of the torque that he puts on his knees are due to his weight, and that is going to be a big problem for him in the future, and it's becoming a big problem early on in his career. To prove that he's a bust, all you have to do is you just have to look at Ja Morant. Ja Morant to Zion Williamson is the Kevin Durant to Greg Oden. Ja Morant was drafted number 2 just after Zion Williamson in the 2019 NBA draft. And where are they now? Ja Morant is just coming off of his first All-Star appearance, and he's been in the MVP talks, and his team is well situated to go into the playoffs. So that tells you everything you need to know about Zion and his bust status, if you're still on the fence about it. I'm pretty sure if you ask the Pelicans if they could go back to 2019 and do the draft all over again, I'm pretty sure they'd tell you they would all unanimously in that boardroom unanimously choose to draft Ja Morant, because Ja Morant has become what Kevin Durant was to Greg Oden. It's a stark difference. And I don't like saying that Zion is a bust, right? It doesn't bring me joy, because I had a lot of expectations for Zion Williamson. I was one of those kids. I was still in high school. I loved Zion. All of his high school dunks, when he was at Duke, dude, I was a Zion apologist. I was a Zion fan. He had a lot of upside to him, both on the floor and off the floor. On the floor because he's just so big. He was so big. And at the time when he was in high school, it was okay. But as he got older, your metabolism slows down. And for him, it was rapidly fast. He gains a lot of weight, right? But that, because of how big he was, it allowed him to do a lot of crazy stuff, right? It allowed him to just bulldoze his way through players. And it was fun to see. Off the court, Zion had star potential. He signed a deal with Air Jordan before he even bounced to NBA basketball. That's like what LeBron had. That's kind of the star power that Zion had. And just the name Zion in and of itself, it rings greatness, right? It's like one of those greats who just need one name and you don't need a last name with them, right? Tiger, Kobe, Shaq, Beyonce, Drake, Zion. That's a ticket seller right there. That's box office. So he had a lot of potential, and it's sad to see that we, the fan, and Zion are being robbed of his career. We're being robbed of a potentially great NBA player. He could have been a great, right? He had a lot of potential. And so it doesn't bring me any joy to say that he's a bust, but he's a bust. And it's very saddening. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on Zion Williamson and what's been going on with him lately. So if you watched all the way to the end of the video, I'm thankful. Make sure to drop a like. I'll really appreciate that. That'll help the video out. Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Zion is a bust? Do you think he'll rebound? Do you think people are too quick to call him a bust, even though it's been 3 years? Leave it all down in the comments below, and I'll get to it. And click here to watch who's better, Joel Embiid or Giannis Antetokounmpo. And aside from that, see you next time, kids.